and welcome to this week's Devil in the Detail podcast. I'm Paul Whiteside. I'm on my own for a bit of this, and Rob's going to pop in and help me out as it goes. Parky's missing this week, but I'm sure he'll be back next week. So, yeah, you stuck with me. I'll talk you through it, though. We've got quite a bit to go out. We've got the news. We've also got a preview of my little preview of the Catalan's game coming up this weekend. We'll have a look at the Magic weekend and all the news that's going on around the club, because there's quite a bit to get through. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll start off with the defeat in Newcastle against Huddersfield Giants. Salford, first on the Sunday, 1 o'clock kick-off. Salford lined up with Ryan Brierley, Kensio, Dion Cross, Tim Lafay, Rhys Williams, Brodie Croft, Mark Sneed, Jack Ormonroyd, Andy Akasitalaka Akawala, Harvey Levett, Kalum Watkins, Alex Gerrard on the bench. It was Chris Atkin, Elijah Taylor, Sam Luckley and Tyler Dupree. Tough game for Salford. Huddersfield hit the front with 2 tries, really. It was a high kick from Russell, the young halfback at Huddersfield, and Toby King, who's just come in from Warrington. He beat CO to the ball, took it cleanly and went over to score. Very similar to the try that Rhys Williams scored at Warrington for Salford last week. So poor goal line defence after that. Trout went over for Huddersfield. That was 12 points to nil. And Salford were behind the 8 ball, really. 12 points to nil, down in blistering heat as well. It was really warm conditions there. And a kick through. Salford made a meal of that. And McQueen, who scored so many tries for a forward, he picked up the pieces. Russell had the goal. It was 18 points to nil, and Salford were down and out at that stage. But they carried on battling. Dion Cross, who's been very, very impressive this season for the Red Devils. A real signing, Dion Cross. His story, really, if you follow it, coming through from the Championship and not really playing at Super League level before, but he's really, really impressive. He's very, very solid every week. He's an out 8 and 9 out of 10 every week. And Dion Cross went over for the try. That was 18 points to 6. But then a stone cold knock on from Rhys Williams right in front of his own post led to a scrum, and from the scrum it was easy, slick hands and good passing. Jermaine McGilvery went over for Huddersfield. That was 24 points to 6 in the second half. Bad start for Salford, really. Tyler Dupree has been absolutely excellent for the Red Devils since he's come in, taking the ball up really well. He broke some tackles in that game against Huddersfield. He was helped off from the field, and it looks like he's going to be out for a long time now. I think big blow. Brodie Croft, though, he split the defence. Nice play from Andy Ackers. He went over Croft. Great try from him. That was 24 points to 12. And not long after that, Croft broke again. Sam Luckley was in support, and he went over to score and did his Alan Shearer celebration in front of the Gallagher end. Geordie lad there scored. It must have been absolutely magical, and probably the moment of the week. And I think the League Express missed a trick, really, not having Sam Luckley on the front there with his Shearer celebration. Steve McCormick got a fantastic picture of him as well. So great for Sam. That was 24-18. And Huddersfield then, I think, were starting to panic slightly. It was a huge gap out wide, though, and Huddersfield exploited that. As McGilvery went over 30 points to 18. Theo Fires dropped a goal, hit the post, followed up to score late on, but the video referee ruled that try out. So Huddersfield, the better side, I thought, on the day. They edged it. Salford, though, struggling with injuries. Looks like Harvey Levett's out as well now. Saw him coming out of the players' entrance at the end of the game. He was doing a few interviews and that, and he had a leg brace on. Tyler Dupree as well. So Salford behind the 8 ball firmly when it comes to injuries and things like that. So that defeat has took its toll on the side. After the match, I managed to catch up with a couple of Salford players. I spoke to Kalum Watkins and Geordie boy Sam Luckley, who was absolutely delighted, and so was Kalum with the performance, not the result. But Sam Luckley delighted with his try. He was very, very disappointed though in the defeat when we spoke to Sam Luckley. So this is what they both had to say. Check it out. Delighted to say Sam Luckley joins with Salford beaten today. Very tough game, but on a positive note, a lot of hard work, and you got a try as well, mate. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag of emotions, really. Happy I got a try, and it's very sentimental, but also we want to get the win. I thought the first half we let ourselves down a little bit. Start the second half, we clawed ourselves back in and we started to turn the tide. But in the end, just not enough. Everyone's disappointed, I think, but yeah.
Tough day all in all. I mean, you've had to travel up in a day, 3 hours on a bus. Not the ideal preparation for the game. Poor start to the game, but I think look at the heat out there today to concede 6 points in 40 minutes in that second half. How tough was that?
Yeah, it was. I was in Benidorm. It was red hot, but still, you can't really use them excuses. You could say, the travel and all that sort of stuff, but again, I just don't think we were good enough on the day. But we'll live and learn, don't we? We'll get back in and we'll have a look at the game, and we'll always fix up. And it's part of the journey. We're getting better every week, and I think the fans and I can see that. But I kind of doubt the work rate and the effort that we put in every week. Everyone works our socks off, so it's coming together.
I think 24-6 down at half time, we could have feared a big hiding there, but to come back in that second half, on a personal note as well, what was it like there to score that try? Did it seem in slow motion? Did it just seem to open up for you?
That was panicking, I tell you, when I was getting the try line and everyone started closing in, but I just thought, get your head down and run.
How hold we are holding that ball? How hard we holding that ball? Was it like just tight as you could?
Anyone was getting that ball off us. Jack was saying he tried to celebrate with us. I just pushed him off and just shoot at her. Everyone's been saying this to do it all week. So I think I kicked myself. I didn't do it. But
I was jumping around in the press box. Everyone looking at me as I was stupid. I was like, brilliant to get to the line. Don't drop the ball. But no, a really
honestly,
big effort today.
Cheers, mate.
Really big effort. You've got Catalan Dragons coming up next week. Doesn't get any easier for you. A few knocks today. How do you go next week now? Is it back into training and just taking things easy as well?
Pretty much that's it. We'll assess the game. We'll see how all the bodies are and everything like that. And I think the positive is we're at home, aren't we, next week? So they're coming to us, and we're starting to play well every time we're at home now. And
how are you feeling personally? No knocks or bumps today? You've got big
no.
dust on your
Other than my feet are into shreds, but other than that, I'm absolutely sound. So I'll be round to go next week.
Well, you enjoyed tonight, mate. You deserve it. Well done today, and unlucky on the result. Right, Kalum Watkins joins me. A tough game for you today. A massive effort, not the result you wanted though.
No, it wasn't. I think the first half pretty much showed how well we played there. So it wasn't really good enough. And big guard defence, we let ourselves down in the first half. And they took full advantage. They're a good team, man. But we showed our grit and determination to get back in it. But again, we left ourselves a bit too much to do at times. And ultimately, they executed the plays when they needed to. And ourselves, I just think we were a bit flat on both sides of the game.
Massive effort in that second half to keep them down to 6 points. And that, what was it like on the pitch? How warm was it down there?
Yeah, it was very warm. The conditions were pretty tough, but that's for both teams. Both teams get that situation. So second half we worked really hard to get back into the game and could have gone on to win the game, but we just didn't execute enough consistently. And ultimately they took advantage when we made a couple of errors and a couple of penalties we gave away. They took advantage of that.
Are you good to go next week? I just panicked when I saw you then because you've got a big strap in on your knee there, but you're going to be alright
I'm
next
good.
Week?
Yeah. Just the burst on top of my knee. There's nothing structurally wrong with my knee. It's pretty good actually. Felt like I did a little bit better in the second half, get going a little bit, and just got to rest it. And
you're having life tough at the moment since you've moved to the back row. It's a lot tougher, isn't it? You find it, but you're doing well there. You're enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it's good. Disappointed today. I think a couple of our individuals, including myself, were disappointed how I played today. So I've got to look in the mirror and get myself back into training and making sure I prepare the best that I can, keep doing what I'm doing, and things will turn around. It's just one of those games where things didn't come off. I had a couple of opportunities to put a couple of tries in for us, but the pass either went behind or just didn't get the right catch at the right time. So one of those things we have to move on, and we've still got that resilience and determination to get ourselves back into it. So got a great character in our team, so hopefully everybody can stick by us, and we'll turn it around.
Thanks very much for speaking to us today, Kalum. All the best, and all the best next week, mate. Cheers. That was Sam Luckley and Kalum Watkins speaking after the game at the Magic Weekend. Paul Rowley was also disappointed in his press conference. He cited a few things in there. Paul Rowley, it's a difficult job. It is when you're down on numbers and you've not got that huge squad to rely on, and things are getting difficult as well with more players adding to that injury list, and especially with Catalan Dragons coming up this weekend. It's going to be another tough one. But got your 3-word match reports from the game at the weekend. Mark said errors first half, and his man of the match was Croft. KDL defence and handling errors, man of the match silent assassin Croft. Steve Bennett, too many errors, man of the match Croft. Nicholas Fletcher unable to recover, his man of the match was Brodie Croft. Adam Franks, costly errors again, man of the match Brodie Croft. There's a theme developing here, I think. Brodie Croft playing pretty well again. Rick Andrew, errors equalled tries, and his man of the match was Brodie Croft. So it was a clean sweep for Brodie Croft there with the man of the match awards this week, and another fantastic performance from him, and disappointing with the result, but I don't think you can have a go at the effort from the players. I think the effort and commitment was there. Huddersfield the better side on the day. So next up, we'll have a look at the news and see what's been going around in and around the world of Salford Red Devils. Right, well, season ticket holders with children, we're hosting a focus group to plan our Junior Red Devils programme for 2023. It's going to be held on Wednesday, the 20th of July at 7 p.m. at the AJ Bell Stadium. You can register via the Twitter page, and I think on Facebook as well, and the various other bits and pieces on social media. There's a link on there so that you register interest, you can go down to that. So Junior Devils is a fantastic idea. Me and Rob and Parky were part of that when we were kids, but back years ago at the Willows, and if they're doing something like that again, it's very very special. Gets kids hooked to the sport and hooked to rugby league, and passionate about following Salford as well. So you can get involved with that. That's Wednesday the 20th of July, 7 p.m. at the AJ Bell Stadium. Folly Lane Rugby League, 19th of July, Girls Rugby League for the girls of Salford, Swinton and surrounding areas. It's school years 1 to 6. That's being held. It's a blue ribbon Fields, Fraser Street, Swinton, M27 4DH. So get in touch with Folly Lane if you want some more information about that. Salford Red Devils Living Well programme. The sports sessions, all abilities welcome, 18 years plus. Thursdays 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. starts Thursday the 25th of August. That sounds great. That walking rugby league is available on alternative dates for those struggling with mobility. So get yourself involved with that. That's at the Salford Sports Village, 325 Littleton Road, Salford, M7 3NQ. So that is 4 till 5 p.m. Thursdays, and it starts on Thursday the 25th of August. Salford Red Devils Rugby League World Cup Development Days. These dates are Friday the 5th and 12th of August, and it's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the AJ Bell Stadium. Boys, girls, school year 6, 7, 8 and 9. It costs £12 per person per day, or 2 days are £20. So yeah, more good stuff to keep you occupied in the school holidays playing rugby league. The women's squad for the summer camp for the Ireland team. Great news for Salford. Lucy McEwen is in the squad, along with lots of other players from Ireland and a few from over in this country as well. There's a lady from St Helens, Philippa Birchill, and a lady from Featherstone, Gabby Harrison. Quite a lot from Ireland as well. So fantastic news for Lucy McEwen to be in that Ireland squad. And credit to the way she's playing for the Salford ladies this season. We're speaking about the ladies in a minute. We're going to pass over to Rob and he'll talk you through their fantastic victory at the weekend. But we'll move on to that shortly. One more final bit of news before we move on. Salford Red Devils have signed on loan Ben Helliwell on a 2-week loan from Featherstone Rovers. Ben Helliwell played for Warrington. I think he was at Lee as well. He's a back row forward. He's pretty tall, pretty hefty. Not like fat, like hefty. He's about 6'3", I think, and probably 16 stone. Big tall lad, I think. So yeah, he's just what Salford needs, especially at the moment. We've got players out injured. Tyler Dupree, as we said before. Harvey Levette as well. A bit loose in that pack, aren't we? King Vuniayo was out for the season. So Shane Wright's still out. Greenwood's out. They're very, very low on forwards at the moment. So Helliwell will be a welcome recruit coming in this week from Featherstone Rovers. Well, also at St James's Park last weekend, it was great to see our Learning Disabilities Rugby League team in action in Newcastle. They played Hull Kingston Rovers, Featherstone Rovers, Warrington, Hull FC and York City Knights on the pitch at St James's Park. I'll give you the list of the people involved in that. With Sean Robinson, Ben Blood, Keith Blood, Dave Heffernan, Ben Heffernan, Will Moore, Jake Forbes, Lee Forbes, Heather Robinson, Sean Begley Jones, Nathan Brown and Jamie Brady. congratulations to them all involved. I saw them warming up to go out just as I came out of the stadium. I had to be home sort of tea time as early as I could on Sunday, so I seen them all warming up, and they were absolutely in the zone there, so I didn't want to disturb them. They were just warming up to go onto the pitch, so they did incredibly well in those matches, and I hope they all enjoyed it. It was fantastic to see, to play on that pitch as well, and to see the adulation they got from the supporters, especially the Salford supporters in that Gallagate end. It was absolutely fantastic stuff, so well done to everybody involved. We'll move on now to the ladies. Rob's going to talk us through that. The ladies went through to the final of the League Cup. Rob, can you tell us all about that?
Right, yeah, good to see you keeping the old boat afloat while I'm away. Let's talk about the ladies. They were victorious in their League Cup semi-final this weekend. They beat Dewsbury Moor 18 points to 8 down at Salford City Roosters. Wonderful day, beautiful sunshine, great event really. Bouncy castle, the bar was open. There was a Salford Devils Foundation skill zone as well, so it was really a family day for everyone there. The game itself was a real good one. Dewsbury scored first. Salford found their way back into it after 20 minutes. Lovely work by Taz Corcoran, who found Steph Gray with a wonderful ball about 20 metres out. She went over and Salford led 6-4. Then Salford extend their lead. Lovely work from a scrum by Lucy McKeon. She found Alex Simpson, who raced away 90 metres, beat the fullback, beat the cover, went over in the corner for a wonderful try. Demi Jones converted and Salford led 12-4. Dewsbury Moor then had a lady sent to the sin bin for a high tackle on Taz, and Dewsbury tried to find their way back into it at that point. Salford's defence was tested, but Salford got into half time at 12-4 to the good. The second half started with a try for Salford. Dewsbury Moor kicked deep. Ball was picked up by Louise Fellingham. She fed fullback Lucy McKeon, who ran into the space and terrorised the Dewsbury Moor defence and ended up going under the post for Salford. 90-metre effort, and Salford led 18 points to 4 with 35 minutes to go. The next 35 minutes was brutal. The sun came down. All the players grafting throughout. Got to give them massive credit, because obviously them conditions in the semi-final, it's massive pressure on everybody, but I thought they stood up tall. I thought they were fantastic. The forwards in particular were outstanding, and yeah, it was a fantastic result for Chris Bates' ladies.
Also, we've got some interviews as well. Rob caught up with Louise Fellingham and Chris Bates, and they reacted to another buzzing performance.
Coach's Corner.
We're joined by victorious coach Chris Bates. Congratulations on reaching the League Cup final with the Salford Red Devils. How do you feel?
Yeah, absolutely buzzing. I don't know how to put that into words, really. They had to do it really tough for a while out there, the girls. It was baking hot, and they worked really hard to play a brand of rugby that we're proud of, that we've not gone away from, and that was good enough today to get us a result. So roll on the 31st.
Yeah, 18-8 today. Obviously started quite slow. They scored first. What was your sort of thought process on that? Obviously, was there a bit of panic setting in, or do you think we can bounce back here?
Yeah, it's easy to say kind of when the final whistle's gone, but genuinely we were quite cool, calm and collected about it. So we didn't complete our first 3 sets. They scored early off some poor D, but both of those things are fixable. So the sets that we didn't complete came from us trying to play in the right areas of the park, and that's fine. They just happened to go to floor, but they're not going to do that all game, so we knew that would come eventually. And then ultimately we don't miss tackles like that very often, so again, nothing really to fix. Just needed to kind of stick at it and believe that we're the better team and back up to show it.
Yeah, 20 minutes gone. Big turning point for me. Tanzin Kokorin made a break, gave it to Steph Gray, went over in corner. Great try, changed momentum of the game.
Yeah, but didn't do anything different to what they'd done in the kind of first 3 errors. So just spotted a weakness in the defensive line and played at it. That time it came off. It was always going to. We were saying that on the sideline, I promise.
And then obviously Salford scored again a couple of minutes later. Alex Simpson, 80 metre effort, going round the defence and going over in the corner. Fantastic try, sort of calmed everyone down really in that situation.
Yeah, it definitely did, and she's brilliant, Alex, and credit to Lucy for setting it up. So they just played off a scrum, just spotted a little gap and backed themselves to do it, even though we're in our own 20. It's exactly how we ask them to play.
Yeah, and then second half game, moment of magic from Lucy McKeown, 80 metre effort, crowd were on the feet, and you're 1 foot in the semi-final at that point.
Yeah, that's the one, and then it becomes about managing the game out, doesn't it, in the heat, and continuing to roll our forwards on and off and allow them to keep their kind of work rate up and keep those standards that we kind of hold so dear up. And yeah, we just had to manage it out from there, and we did.
Who stood out for you today?
Sorry, player of the match was Lobby for us today. I thought she led us really well. That 80 metre effort from Lucy that we just spoke about came from Lobby reacting to a ball bounced overhead, if you remember, and then she kind of turned head up. There's a kind of chink in their armour, and then Lucy punched a fantastic line, and she can't not give it her. I thought Lobby was brilliant all game for us. I thought Darcy was fantastic going forwards. I thought Meg was unbelievable again. A work rate and a working contact, it just goes unnoticed. I think YPS again did good stuff coming off the bench. Our second rows in Vic and Kaylee were brilliant and did long minutes out there as well. And I thought across the park in this heat, I thought they were fantastic.
Yeah, you talk about playing what you see, and that's what you kind of did in that second half. Even though us in the crowd were a little bit nervous, because obviously in this heat you're thinking stick up with jump off, 5 drives and a kick, but your team don't have that in their DNA, do you?
No, but we back ourselves to play in those situations, and if the game had been a bit different, we might well have done that, but it wasn't a forwards battle, and we felt like we were fitter than them, so we want to move them, we want to test them, and we want to set our faster players running when we can, and ultimately that won us the game. So I wouldn't necessarily change it. If we play a different side, then that might require a different kind of style of game.
Yeah, I'll say, James, in the final, off this, you've got fancy chances.
I've said all season that I back us if we turn up and we represent ourselves and this badge well, then I back us to get a result there. Made tougher by the fact that it's at their place somehow. It's a final at a neutral ground at their home ground, so we'll kind of see what comes, but we'll prepare right for it, and yeah, we'll see what comes.
Brilliant. Congratulations, Chris, and we'll see you next week. So we're joined by player of the match, Louise Fellingham. Congratulations on reaching the League Cup final with Salford Red Devils. How do you feel?
To be honest, it's really hard to put into words. Back last November, did I think we'd be in a cup final this first season? Absolutely not. But I think the progress that we've made, we deserve it. We deserve to be there. And today was hard, really hard. It was very, very hot. But it was just another thing that we need to overcome as a team, and I think we did a really good job today.
Yeah, 18-8 the full-time score. Try from Alex Simpson, 80 metre effort, and you got Lucy McKeown going 100 metres in the second half. 2 sensational tries which swung the contest our way.
Yeah, fantastic. Look, we know what both of those two give us. If we give them the right type of ball, they'll do that all day. So, you need big players like that to step up in a game like this, and they did.
Yeah, obviously in these conditions, 90-degree heat, you and Demi Jones pulling the strings. So what was it like, obviously, on the field in battle, in these hot conditions?
It was unbearable at times, to be honest. It just didn't feel like the heat was ever going to let up. Like, not a cloud in the sky, which is lovely for everyone down here. Yeah. But obviously, when you're playing, it is really difficult. And I think it's just about managing that. Managing the forward pack, getting them to do the hard stuff, but then giving them a bit of a break. And I think we did it really well. I think we did quite a professional job today. It was. I don't think it was ever going to be a high-scoring game with the weather the way it is. But I think we did a good job. Yeah,
and obviously we talked on Wednesday about your predictions. Is it Mystic Meg or Septic Peg today?
I got one. I missed one try scorer, but got the rest.
That's what it's all about. And obviously, looking forward, we've got Oral in the final a couple of weeks' time. Obviously, you're going to enjoy tonight, but you've got to be thinking towards that, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, me and you have had the conversation. It is one game at a time for us, so we've got 2 games in between now and then, and our focus will be on those. But obviously, we will enjoy today. You can't not. I think Oral are a bit of an unknown to us. We haven't obviously seen them, and we haven't played against them yet. So at least with these guys today, we knew what they were going to bring. And it was just about being better on the day. And Oral at their home ground. So anything can happen. But I think if we play the way we can play and on our best day, we'll put a good show on.
Brilliant. Congratulations today, and I'll see you next week.
Yes, Rob, the final is in a couple of weeks' time, 2 weeks' time. The final is Oral St James against Oral. How do you think the Salford ladies are going to go on in that?
Louise talked about the progress that the team have made since being formed in November last year, and never in their wildest dreams did think they'd be in the final. But for me, they've been good enough to get there. They're playing some really good rugby, great brand of rugby, playing what they see. And in that semi-final, it was periods where you thought, just stick it up your jumper, drive 5, kick deep and trying to squeeze. Not in this team. This team hasn't got it in their day and age. They want to play, they want to perform, they want to score tries, and it's good to see a Salford team wanting to do that. We've watched many Salford teams freeze on the big occasion, but not this team. They continue to play the philosophy that they bought into, and it was a great result for Chris Bates' ladies. Yeah, both Louise and Chris know that this cup final is a really important game. They know obviously beating Dewsbury in the semi-final was a big result for the club and for the ladies. But the biggest challenge lies ahead with Oral St James at Oral St James, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Obviously, we've got some fantastic players in our squad. They've come together and created a really good team there. So in the final, anything that can happen, but I'm in a quietly confident mood that we can go there and get a result.
Yeah, it's been an incredible journey so far for the ladies this season, and to get to that cup final now, away from home against Oral St James is going to be very, very tough. They're quite a well-established ladies team, but they've got that far now to the final. It's going to be fantastic. That let's hope we get lots of supporters going to it. I'm not too sure what time that game's going to kick off, but whether it clashes with the men's team. But best of luck from everybody on the podcast and all the Salford Rugby supporters as well, because it's been a great season for them.
It has been an incredible journey for the ladies. Obviously, when they first sort of were set up, we didn't know what to expect, but we've seen them sort of grow into this team that wants to play rugby, wants to promote the ball, and we talk about this champagne rugby that they play, but it's quite organised. It's not panic stations rugby. Every pass is measured. It's a really good, exciting way to play rugby league, and a Salford team is doing that. A fantastic chance now on Sunday when they play Hull Kingston Rovers before the men's game for us fans to go down and see what the girls can do. Obviously, they've had a lot of fixtures that have clashed with the men so far, but first double header from the club this week, so hoping that lots of fans can get down there to the stadium earlier and watch these girls perform, because you won't be disappointed. They've got some great players in this squad, and I'm sure the Hull Kingston Rovers game on Sunday will be another cracker. Being top of the league, they've got a couple of really strong teams chasing them, likes of Alton Radettes, Warrington Lunars. So, it's important that Chris Bates' ladies keep winning, and then obviously can look forward to the cup final in a couple of weeks' time.
Well, next up on the podcast, we'll have a look what's been going on in and around the world of rugby league. By Rugby League Roundup, we've got some amateur rugby league in there. We'll also look at the domestic scene, and we'll be checking out the NRL as well. So here's that report now. Hello, and here is this week's Devil in the Detail. World of Rugby League. I'll call it World of Rugby. I forget every week what we're supposed to call it. World of Rugby League. Whitesides World of Rugby League, I think Rob calls it now. So we'll start off this week. There's no youth games. There was no fixtures been released this week because of the Magic weekend and whatever. So we'll start off with the North West Men's League. We've got some scores from the weekend just gone, and someone's just beeping as you drive past me. Thanks for that. Division 3. Rochdale Mayfield 850, Liverpool Lizards 0. Division 4, Salford East, Burton Wood Chargers 28, Langworthy Reds 34. Great win for Langworthy Reds there. Higginshaw 38, Waterhead Warriors A 32. Oldham St Anne's A 18, Burton Wood Bridge 24. The fixtures for this week, these games are all Saturday the 16th of July. Division 1, Bury Broncos host Lee Minor Rangers A. Folly Lane are at home to Dalton. In Division 2, Caddy's Head Rhinos play Hindpool Tigers. Division 3, Crossfields A are at home to Rochdale Mayfield A. And Division 4, South and West, it's Clockface Miners A against Oldham St Anne's A. And Waterhead Warriors A are at home to Langworthy Reds. We'll turn our attention to the North West Conference Leagues. Rochdale Mayfield were beaten at home heavily as well by top of the table West Hull. West Hull are now 14 wins from 16 matches. They won at Mayfield by 44 points to 6. In Division 1, Saddleworth Rangers were beaten narrowly at Featherstone Lions. They trailed 20 points to 6 at half time, fought back in the second half. Featherstone Lions 28, Saddleworth Rangers 20. That one finished up. In Division 3, Lee East 44, Oldham St Anne's 16, and Waterhead Warriors beat Seaton Rangers by 40 points to 16. So at the moment then, Rochdale Mayfield sort of mid-table, 7 wins from 16 matches. Saddleworth Rangers are second bottom. They've just won 2 games in their 15 matches so far. Waterhead Warriors stay second behind East Leeds in Division 3 with Oldham St Anne's 4 points behind Waterhead Warriors in third place with just 20 points. So the fixtures for this week, it's Premier Division, Hunslet at Club Parkside face Rochdale Mayfield. Division 1, Saddleworth Rangers at home to Introse Bridge. And in Division 3, Eastmoor Dragons face Waterhead Warriors, and Oldham St Anne's are at home to Millham. Well, let's get ourselves over to the NRL and check out what's been going on over there. It was round 17, Cronulla Sharks 28, Melbourne Storm 6. It's been a funny season this for Melbourne Storm. You know, after a great start, they've now lost 5 games from 16, 11 wins, 5 defeats. And Cronulla Sharks have really come up on the radar. They're 4th in the table now, level on points with Melbourne. So massive win for Cronulla Sharks. And yeah, great win for them. Their form's really good. Newcastle Knights 28, South Sydney Rabbitohs 40, West Tigers 20, Parramatta Eels 28, Brisbane Broncos 32, St George Illawarra Dragons 18. So at the moment then, this is how it stands. Penrith are still top. It's North Queensland Cowboys second, Melbourne Storm, Cronulla Sharks, Brisbane Broncos, Parramatta Eels, South Sydney Rabbitohs and Manly Seagulls make up the playoff places. West Tigers are bottom with 8 points, followed by Gold Coast Titans, who have got 8 points, and there's not much between their points difference as well, so those two battling out at the bottom at the moment. The fixtures for this week, Wednesday the 13th of July, it's State of Origin Game 3, Queensland against New South Wales. That's at 11:10 on Sky Sports in the morning. On Friday the 15th of July, there's 2 matches. North Queensland Cowboys face Cronulla Sharks. That's a televised game on Sky at 9 o'clock, followed by Parramatta Eels against New Zealand Warriors at 5 to 11. There's 2 games on the television on Saturday. Manly Seagulls against Newcastle Knights at 8:30. Gold Coast Titans face Brisbane Broncos at 10:35. There's an earlier game that's not on the telly. That's Sydney Roosters against St George Illawarra Dragons at 6 a.m. On Sunday the 17th of July, West Tigers at home to Penrith Panthers 5 a.m. Melbourne Storm face Canberra Raiders at 7:05, and Canterbury Bulldogs are against South Sydney Rabbitohs. Massive game for West Tigers, top against bottom in the league. So that's going to be an interesting one Sunday morning at 5 a.m. So good luck to West Tigers in that one. Let's hope they can put up a real good fight in that game. Don't forget New South Wales against Queensland State of Origin, the decider, Game 3 Wednesday at the 11:10. That should be an absolute cracker. Well, finally this week we'll have a look at what's been happening domestically. It was the Magic weekend at the round just gone. Salford were beaten on the Sunday by Huddersfield Giants by 30 points to 18. The rest of the results, the games on Saturday, Castleford played Leeds. That finished Castleford 20, Leeds 34. A Sunday game was Catalan Dragons 10, Warrington Wolves 36. Also on Sunday, Hull FC 34, Hull Kingston Rovers 28. On the other 2 Saturday games, St Helens 20, Wigan Warriors 18. Cracking match that one. Wigan in front for much of the game. 2 late tries from Regan Grace and Johnny Lomax pinching the match for St Helens. They won it 20 points to 18. Toulouse Olympic, they came back 20 points to 4 down they were at half time against Wakefield Trinity, and they came back to win it 38 points to 26. The Betfred Championship round 18, Barrow 40, Whitehaven 6, London Broncos 22, Featherstone Rovers 42, Newcastle Thunder 53, Bradford Bulls 10. Over 3,000 there to watch that game on Friday night, so congratulations Newcastle Thunder, great win. Sheffield Eagles 8, 18, Batley Bulldogs 20, Widnes Vikings 20, Dewsbury Rams 16, and Workington Town 0, Lee Centurions 66. In the Betfred League 1 round 14, it was Cornwall 10, Doncaster 44, Hunslet 54, West Wales Raiders 6, Midlands Hurricanes 16, North Wales Crusaders 46, and Oldham 24, Rochdale Hornets 50. The game between London Scholars and Keighley Cougars was cancelled due to London Scholars being unable to provide appropriate medical cover. So at the moment then, St Helens stay top of the Super League on 30 points, Wigan are second on 26, and it's Huddersfield on 25, Catalan's on 24. There's a big gap then, it's Hull and Casford on 18 points. So after that, Leeds Rhinos got 15, Salford 14, Warrington 14, Hull KR 14, Wakefield 10 and Toulouse 8. It's been a cracking season so far. There's still an awful lot to play for as well. So the fixtures for this week, Halifax Panthers played York on Monday night, so that game has probably been finished now by the time you listen to this. Friday night, St Helens play Huddersfield in the Super League, 8 o'clock, that's on the television. Wigan play Hull also at 8 o'clock. On Saturday the 16th of July, Casford face Warrington on Sky Telly at 3 o'clock. Toulouse Olympic at home to Leeds Rhinos, 5 o'clock UK time. Betfred Championship, Bradford Bulls are at home to London Broncos. West Wales Raiders play North Wales Crusaders in the Welsh Derby, and Betfred League 1, that's at 3 o'clock. On Sunday the 17th, Hull KR host Wakefield Trinity at 3, Salford at home to Catalans at 3. In the Championship, Dewsbury face Lee Centurions, Halifax against Workington, Sheffield against Barrows at 2 o'clock, Whitehaven against Featherstone Rovers, Widnes Vikings against Newcastle Thunder. In Betfred League 1, Hunslet at home to London Scholars. There's a game on the Our League app between Keighley Cougars and Cornwall at 1 o'clock, Oldham at home to Doncaster, Swinton Lions are back in action against Midlands Hurricanes, and next Monday the 18th of July, York City Knights are at home to Batley Bulldogs. So at the moment, the Championship, Lee stay top, Featherstone are second, Batley third. In the Betfred League 1, Keighley, despite not playing at the weekend, they stay top. North Wales Crusaders, Rochdale, Swinton, Doncaster and Hunslet make up the playoff places. That's all I've got for you this week. Take care, have a good week, and I shall see you on Sunday, where it should be an absolute scorcher. The weather's going to be banging again for Salford against Catalan Dragons. So yeah, you won't be needing your coat on Sunday. It'll be shorts and t-shirts, I think, for that one. So take care, I'll see you there. Well, that was my world of rugby league. Plenty going on domestically, and the NRL's hotting up as well. We've also had a fantastic state of origin this week as well, so rugby league season really is hotting up. What we'll do now on the podcast, we'll have a look now at the preview for this weekend. We're playing Catalan Dragons at the AJ Bell Stadium, 3 o'clock kickoff. There's also a ladies' game as well against Hull Kingston Rovers at 12:30. Two great games. We'll have a look at those matches now.
It's time for the Devil of the Details Big Match Preview.
Yes, well, Catalan Dragons visit the AJ Bell Stadium on Sunday, 3 o'clock kick-off. The weather looks like it's going to be an absolute scorch. I think the forecast predicts about 30 degrees, so it will feel a lot more like playing in Perpignan than in Salford. So who's that going to benefit? Not too sure, really, but Catalan Dragons, it's been a funny few weeks for the Dragons. They were beaten 17 points to 16 at Castleford in a golden point extra time. The week after that, they beat St Helens 20 points to 18 at the Stag Gilbert Brutus in Perpignan. Then last week, they were lamped by Warrington at the Magic weekend, so you don't quite know what Catalan side's going to turn up. These two sides have met already once this season at Easter. Catalan came to Salford and won by 36 points to 10, what was a disappointing match really for the Red Devils. But the weekend, as I said, Catalan losing to Warrington. They've still got plenty of quality in that side, though. You look at Sam Tompkins, who's been playing really well for them. They've got a few suspensions. I think Cassiano suspended and Dylan Napper's still out, so there's one or two players suspended there. But Salford, I've had to bring a player on loan this week in Ben Halliwell just to make the numbers up really. So it's going to be tough, and it's going to be interesting to see Paul Rowleys' squad. I'm recording this Thursday, so the squad won't be out till tomorrow. So hopefully we'll be able to get the 19-man, 20-man squad name for that. So it's going to be tough. There's no doubt about that this weekend. The Dragons as well, they've got threats all over the pitch. You look at the half-back partnership of Mitchell Pearce and Josh Drinkwater. They've got plenty of size in the forward as well. Matty Whitley's a guy that always impresses me in the back row. And DeCosta, the hooker as well, causes an awful lot of problems. They've got plenty of pace on the edges. Samasoni Lange, Fuad Yaha always seems to cause problems as well. And big guy like Joe Chan on the bench, Ben Garcia, Benjamin Julian. There's a lot of quality in that Catalan side, so Salford are going to have to be on their mettle. But as I mentioned before, in the Huddersfield, talking about the Huddersfield game, we've got plenty of quality as well. Brodie Croft, Paul Rowley said this last week, he thinks he's the best half in Super League, and other teams might scoff at that, but I think if you look at his performances so far, Brodie Croft. He's been pretty special. He's been getting better and better week in, week out. He seems to be working really well with Mark Sneed at the moment. So Salford can score points. I think with the fourth top point scorers in the league, along with just behind Huddersfield, Wigan and St Helens. It's our defence that tends to cause a bit of problems. We have conceded a lot of points, but regarding attack, we can score. So I'm predicting. I was going to say my prediction was 26-16, I think, to Salford this weekend. But I can see there being a lot more points, considering the weather's going to be really hot. But I'm going to stick with it. I'll stick with 26-16 to Salford. It's going to be a tough game. There's no doubt about that. The ladies, as I said, kick off at 12:30 against Hulkington Rovers. They've just got to the League Cup final as well. Their minds are going to be on that, but they want to keep playing well every week now. And I think it's great that you've got 2 games on the same day, a real double header. I think they're hoping for a lot of youngsters to be down to this game on Sunday. It should be a proper carnival atmosphere at the AJ Bell Stadium. An awful lot going on, and yeah, really looking forward to it. Yeah, the ladies get underway at 12:30, and the Salford Red Devils men's team get underway at 3 p.m. So get yourselves down there. Get yourselves down there for a ticket this week if you can, or just get down there, walk up on the day. It should be a special day. Well, that's all I've got for you this week. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast, and I've just managed to bluff my way through it. Hopefully the lads will be back on for a full podcast next week. You take care, have a good week. I shall speak to you, probably see you there at the game on Sunday. Take care, all the best, bye bye.